Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda Marsalis. Welcome to Heard It on the Shark. I'll be your show host, and Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area is your show sponsor. Heard It on the Shark is a weekly interview show that airs every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on the Shark 102.3 FM radio station based in Ripley, Mississippi. Then it's released as a podcast on all the major podcast platforms. You'll hear interviews with the movers and shakers in North Mississippi who are making things happen. I'll talk to entrepreneurs, leaders of business, medicine, education, and the people behind all the amazing things happening in North Mississippi. When people ask you, how did you know about that? You'll say, I heard it on the Shark. Heard It on the Shark is brought to you by the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area. We want you to get out and discover the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of the Mississippi Hills that are right in your backyard. And of course, we want you to take the Shark 102.3 FM along for the ride. Musical credit belongs to Hill Country Blues guitar legend Gary Burnside and the late great Buddy Grisham, playing Long Way Home from their album Acoustic Brothers, which was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
This program was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
Okay, Shark fans, it's Melinda with another episode of Heard It on the Shark. And I don't know if you remember, but back a few weeks ago, we had Miss Ashley English of TVA Energy Right, who came and talked to us about how to be safe and save money in the wintertime. And she has come back today to go on with that conversation because there's so many good things that she is willing to share with us to help us make the wintertime safer. And so let me just say, Ashley, thank you for coming back.
Oh, thanks for having me. Great to be here again.
Okay, now I'd like to jump in and just talk about space heaters. It is really cold in the wintertime and it's expensive to have central heat and air. Some people just don't have it in their home, and I know there's a lot of people in our listening area who don't. So let's talk about space heaters, ovens, stoves, things that people use to heat their home when they don't have an HVAC system.
Yeah, I mean, what I'll say is that using space heaters, ovens, or stoves to heat your home can be really risky, and honestly, they're often really inefficient and can drive your costs up more than you think. Space heaters can efficiently heat small spaces. So let's say you have maybe a small home office and it just doesn't get great airflow in there. That might be good, but they're not designed for whole house heating. So you're going to waste energy if you try to use them for a large area. And then there's also a significant safety concern. You know, there's risk of fire or carbon monoxide poisoning if your space heater is not properly vented. And the thing that I'll say about ovens and stoves, while they do produce heat, they are just not designed for heating spaces. So using them for this purpose can lead to uneven heating and can increase your energy bills significantly, not to mention the fire hazards and that gas stoves produce harmful gases if they're used inappropriately. So our recommendation for effective and safe home heating is to use your central heating system if you have one, an insulated space heater or heat pumps, and just, you know, always prioritize safety. And really, we'd recommend that you never use cooking appliances as a primary heating source.
Okay, let's do a little real talk, though. Let's say that you don't have HVAC, it's wintertime, it's cold. Give us some safety issues that you see that cause house fires, because there's a house fire in Tippah County and all over North Mississippi every winter with people trying to keep their house warm. So tell us how to, I know you can't recommend using a space heater, but if you're going to use one, what are some safety things you can do to eliminate some risk?
Well, I think one of the first things to remember is to make sure that it is not in contact with any flammable materials. That is one of the most common causes of fires with space heaters. So, you know, curtains, bedding, clothing, furniture, anything like that, paper, they can ignite. And so you want to make sure your space heater has clearance on all sides. And you often want to make sure that they don't get too close right to your bed or your wall. Another issue can be electrical issues. Space heaters draw significant power. And if they are plugged into something like an extension cord or a power strip, or even outlets that are shared with other, high electrical draw off appliances, they can overload the circuits, and that can cause wiring to overheat inside the walls, or the cord itself could even melt and spark. So you just want to be careful. You want to not use it on an extension cord or a power strip, and make sure it's plugged in, by itself into the wall. And then the other thing that I think we see a lot is either that they tip over, especially older models that don't have that kind of automatic shut-off option. They'll tip over onto a carpet or a rug and start a fire, or they can overheat if dust accumulates around the unit. So if you have an older one, again, you want to make sure you keep it clean and dust-free. So if you're forced to use a space heater or you have a small space, those are our tips to just make sure they don't cause any bigger issues for you.
Okay, so give us all your fun little free tips about things that you can do in the wintertime. I know you've already told us once, but tell us again, what are some of the easy, free things that you can do in the winter to save energy and be safe?
So one is just take advantage of sunlight. On the sunny days, make sure you open your curtains and let the natural sunlight warm your home, and close them at night to provide an extra layer of insulation. Another thing, just want to make sure that your heating vents are open and that they're not blocked by furniture or rugs. Another one that a lot of people don't realize is that if you have a ceiling fan, you can set it to run clockwise in the winter, and that's going to push warm air down to where you can feel it. So if you look at the base of your ceiling fan, you'll see a little switch up there. And I'll tell you, I didn't realize this until I got this job and started learning more about these things. So go take a look and make sure it's running clockwise, but make sure you turn the fan off when you're not in the room, because it doesn't do anything unless you're in the room with it. And then other than that, just make sure your weather stripping around your doors and windows is refreshed and solid and hasn't been torn up. And just check that you have proper insulation. And if you don't, know that we've got rebates available for things like attic insulation to help you make your home cozier.
And tell us again that website.
Yes, that website is energyright.com. You'll find all the information about the rebates we have available, about the contractors in our contractor network who are there to help make great upgrades for you, and more advice, tips, and tricks.
Now, Ashley, let's wrap up this way. You keep telling us how to save energy, but TVA makes money by selling energy, so why would you tell us ways to not buy things from you?
Yeah, we get this question a lot, and I get it. I think it's important for folks to know that when we can lower demand for energy, especially at peak times when a lot of people are using energy at once, think those early winter mornings, everybody's getting ready for work, your HVAC's working hard, somebody's blow drying their hair, somebody's cooking breakfast. When we can lower energy use at that time, that helps TVA save on operational costs, and it reduces our need to invest in expensive infrastructure to only serve occasional peak needs. And when we don't have to do that, it helps us maintain low rates and a more reliable, resilient grid. So we think of energy efficiency as a win-win when people choose to reduce energy waste and use that energy more wisely. And that means there's more energy to go around for the growing area we live in.
Ashley, again, I want to thank you for all these tips that you've given us. They're very useful, and we appreciate you doing that. So thanks for coming on today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure, and wishing everybody happy holidays.
Okay, Shark fans, that's it for this edition of Heard It on the Shark. You can tune in every Tuesday at 11 a.m. to find out what's happening with other local community leaders like Ashley. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion for an interview, or if you want to hear this interview again, go to our website, shark1023.com, and click on the podcast tab. Keep it tuned to the Shark 1023 and have a great rest of the day.
The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area was established by the United States Congress in 2009 and represents a distinctive cultural landscape shaped by the dynamic intersection of Appalachian and Delta cultures. This intersection has produced a powerful concentration of nationally significant cultural icons, including King of Rock and Roll Elvis Presley, First Lady of Country Music Tammy Wynette, blues legend Howlin' Wolf, civil rights icons Ida B. Wells Barnett and James Meredith, America's favorite playwright Tennessee Williams, and Nobel laureate William Faulkner. The stories of the Mississippi Hills are many and powerful, from music and literature to Native American and African American heritage to the Civil War. The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area supports the local institutions that preserve and share Northeast Mississippi's rich heritage. Begin your discovery of the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of our region by visiting the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area online at mississippiHills.org.